Our system is designed to live for 120 years. Why it is terminated at 80 years itself skin is sagging? Why at 90 years itself is aging? So your vehicle is designed for 120 years, and by 50 years, 60 years itself it aged means what? You have overused it, you have abused it, or you have not taken care of it. If you only give what it requires, frankly speaking, and we all live healthy, like in Okinawa, like in Hunza Valley in Himalayas, or like in Tibet, like people live, they have only 1 meal a day. And like people in Tibet, like people in Himalayas, their longevity is very high, 140 years in Hunza Valley. It's not a joke, it's not a joke. And Hunza Valley extends, it is in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, down into the Kashmir. I lived in those zones. And very, very excellent, rich culture. So dead terrain, dead environment, but still people live. And similarly, in Japan, in Tibet, you can see people live 100 years, 120. It's not because of the climate. It's because of the disciplined culture of 1 meal a day. They have abundant enzymes in them. So, and they are always no fight or flight mechanism. The main thing is, someone is telling me, sir, night my sugar is okay in control, but daytime, sir, why my sugar is going up? When I get checked, all parameters are okay, sir. Huh? Why do you know? Your tension, your anxiety. And when you are a tension, anxiety, a fight and flight mechanism triggers. And fight and flight mechanism releases glycogen. Why am I telling you now? Not to tense, not to excite yourself. Now, if you are watching a movie now, sitting at home, some fiction movie, some horror movie, you are watching some fighting movie, what's happening? And you are also inside fighting. And inside generating the emotion, your liver dumps in order to, it senses the danger there, fear in you, anxiety, tension in you. So you need so much of energy at that time. That's why liver releases the glycogen. Your intracellular glycogen is first depleted, and then the glycogen from the liver is dumped. So your body stores only one kind of the carbohydrate your body stores, that is the glycogen, 500 grams. And in this 100 grams is in the cells, and 400 grams is approximately in the liver. Or 100 grams is in the liver and 400 grams is in the cell. Now the intracellular glycogen is depleted. Your liver is dumping, and one glycogen, it is a polymer. It is equivalent to it is 14,000 glucose molecules. It is a polymer. Say one glycogen molecule is released, and your blood sugar, 14,000 glucose molecules, your blood sugar shoots up like this. And the sugar spike in your blood causes enormous amount of inflammation. When you say triglycerides, LDL cholesterol, all these modern diseases, when you say including lack of immunity, is called inflammatory disease, metabolic B disorder. Metabolism is compromised completely, has come down. Inflammatory disorders, all these 45, including cancer, arthritis. Now you name any obesity, you name any disease today, it is considered as a lifestyle disease. Inflammatory disease, lifestyle disease, metabolic disease. What is there in the name? You see, the catch point is inflammation. Inflammation by what? Inflammation is, glycogen is all the time, morning to evening. Once upon a time, you only used to see your grandparents, grandfathers. When have you seen them panic? Tell me. You never saw them panic. Now, and while watching mobile phone itself, you are going panicky. I can see your emotions. Other day I have shown the emotions. Each one of them are triggering fight and flight mechanism. And your blood, you are racing. You're sitting here, a child playing a game. And what is his nutrition? And he's moving like this, playing a game. He's not fighting a real war in the field. If he has to fight a real war in the actual battlefield with this kind of tension, do you think he will win? To win a battle, you need to have absolute balanced mind. Calm and quiet mind. Then only mind can function creatively. Then mind can plan a strategy. In fight and flight mechanism, you are emotional. You are working in exigency. Only you jump or you only kick or lick behavior comes. Only lick or kick behavior. And as a human, we are supposed to be beyond that. We can exercise that prowess of controlling every emotion. Why this person's glucose is jumping up? Now this glucose, if you are releasing right now, and when coronavirus is absolutely, and your entire body system is struggling to produce insulin. And once insulin is produced, IGF is compromised. IGF is a very, very important immunity growth factor. Once liver releases, liver has two options, either to release glycogen or it has to release IGF-1. And now what you need is IGF-1. You don't need glycogen. Insulin-like growth factor. If you have abundant IGF, means you will never become obese. If you have abundant IGF, means cell is repaired. Any kind of the cell it can repair. And cell repairing, cell maintenance, and cell replication, entire inflammatory response to convert immune response into a growth response. Growth response, the one single molecule that is the most important is IGF-1. As I told you other day, this is the time to sleep. 8 hours minimum you should sleep. If you are not sleeping, have some melatonin, have some GABA. No problem. I'm only suggesting nutrients. I'm not suggesting any drugs, for your information. Or have some poppy seeds boiled in the night and nicely prepare a sweet dish and have them. So it puts you to, like a sedation, you go to the sleep very well. In India, that is a practice, poppy seeds. Or have some valerian tea in the evening, night. Very good. Valerian tea. In India, we have a Sarpagandhi tea. Sarpagandhi is very powerful of calming down the mind, applying the brakes. Because why you are not able to sleep? Because accelerator is very high. Glutamate is pumping. You are not able to sleep. Your mind is restless. Unless you sleep, human growth hormone cannot be generated. IGF-1 cannot be generated. And unless you sleep and your neurotransmitters what are required, so it cannot be generated. So sleep is a must for you to metabolize your fat. For your system to go to zero state of resistance, sleep is nothing but in a day achieving zero resistance. As I told you already. In that zero resistance, miracles happen. Your entire cell gets repaired, rejuvenated. Sleep is a must. The first bodybuilder in 1947 in America, he could grow the muscle not because pumped in steroids, but he could sleep. Someone asked, what is the secret behind your muscle growth? And he said, I slept every day 13 to 14 hours. Means because human growth hormone, IGF, cell repairing hormones, everything will be generated. And fibroblast growth hormones, and so fibroblast growth hormone, FGF hormone, FGF, BP1, BP2, BP3, BP4, BP5, BP6, BP7, name it. Mechanical growth factor, heparocyte growth factor, so many growth factors. So when you exercise, two special growth factors are generated, heparocyte growth factor and mechanical growth factor. Otherwise, your body generating all other growth factor. Growth factor means an enemy is there. You are preparing a strong enemy, mighty, like a Terminator. You are generating a Terminator. You are creating a James Bond, and you are creating a Spider-Man. And that growth hormone is there. There is no Spider-Man. He is a joker. He is a fun maker. Villain is so strong, and this person has to struggle all the time. He is like assistant to the villain. He can never become a hero. So your growth hormone is a very, very important. I'm just trying to explain to you why immunity compromised. This is not the period to generate glucose, consume your insulin. Insulin is produced, IGF is compromised. Either you have only two options. If insulin is high, IGF is low. If insulin is low, IGF more. So less carbohydrate to control regulate your insulin. So more immunity you will have. This is not the time. It is not virus loves glucose. Yes, virus is very intelligent. Electron is so intelligent, as I told you. It makes you crave for carbohydrate now because it knows. So if your glucose is increased, your insulin is increased, and its combating period its soldiers, the one who is going to control it is going to be weak. So virus can dance. It can play havoc. Understand? Very simple. So your diet has to be how much? Low carbohydrate, high fat diet, LCHF, and so many kinds of the combinations are there. How much you need to have? Not more than 100 grams now. 100 grams carbohydrate, 400 kilocalories is good enough. 50 grams. So, okay, remove the fruit in the morning if you have. So, a net carbohydrate should not exceed more than 100 grams. Net carbohydrate means total carbohydrate minus fiber, and net carbohydrate you will get. Calculate. This is the first important thing is regulate your carbohydrate, fix it at 400 kilocalories. I'm just trying to explain you because we are talking about, yesterday we prepared and how to boil a milk for 4 hours, why slow cooking is important, and today I'm coming to. So to convert, what is the importance of the digestive enzymes? What is the importance of having a lighter breakfast? Why only breakfast with orange juice? Even you take anything else, milk you put or anything else you put in the morning, the 16-hour cycle, if you break it, and your digestive enzymes are compromised. So like this, if we understand the science behind it, we adore those saints, adore those yogis. At the end, what have we achieved at the end of the technology, you tell me? You have gone to primitive cycle, namaste. Now you can't give the shake hand. Now, medicines are not, now the people are telling to drink tea, ginger tea, tulsi tea, osmum sanctum tea, ginger tea. Where have we gone? After 500 years of the legacy of so much of science and technology, and today one virus came and we are reminded of our yogis, culture. Now you say, so how much wisdom these yogis must be having? Hey, don't touch. Even Guru, feet should not be touched. Achyuta, don't touch. So contamination, decontamination, keeping it away. And now you should see the government is cautioning so much. Now from the Italy and from Spain, when I see those videos and they are suffering, they are telling, hey, this is a dangerous organism. It is going to eliminate all of you. It is like a tsunami. And be cautious, stay indoor. Whatever government is telling you, understand. But I don't understand. Still in India I see, in my street I see. Near the masjid, again people assemble. Now again in the ration shops, as if they don't have food, in their house. You can take leisurely sometime later. And big line again, do you mean, this is a social distance? If you walk through the zone of coronavirus, and that's all, you have become a carrier of coronavirus. You are nothing but a coronavirus. That effective it is. If you see those videos, people are trying to educate us in many ways. And still in India, this callous attitude. And so people are still as if nothing is going to happen to them. They are they are going for walking in the streets, going into the university. Are you sure? In one affected park, and if one affected person and walking into the park, and then you follow and you go into the same park and you inhale that air, what you are carrying, you are becoming, problem is not for you, problem is for your family, problem is for your friends, problem is for your children, problem is for the elders. If we should have some sense, this is not the time to go for a walking outside. This is a time to stay indoor. I see still people driving on a bike, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. Is there any some sense of responsibility? And if we don't, I know, always, even in the meditation when I teach, I conduct a long retreats. When I come to the West, and when I say it is, you have to be, this is a discipline you have to maintain, they will maintain scrupulously, especially in yoga circles. Why Spain or Italy got affected so badly? The reason is careless attitude. Everyone has become a carrier of the virus. And you have seen how the count increases like this. The only way to control is strictly staying inside. And sanitizing all the time. Wash your hands all the time. Every 1 hour, wash your hands. Don't think morning you washed, afternoon. If you have gone outside, you came back home. In India, what do we do? Nasha. Every house is used to have called a herbal powder. It's not tobacco powder, you should understand. People know how to manipulate it. And people have discovered in Ayurveda a herbal powder called a sneezing powder, called a snuff powder. Why sneezing? The sneezing is to throw out all the germs from your system. You see, this is the formula which, as per the Ayurveda principles, which I made. Now you see, when I take this is a preventive. Suppose you went outside and who knows whether you infested? So before you enter into the house, what you are supposed to do? Before you enter into the house, take this. This is called a little herbal powder. You can see this. This is herbal powder. Now you observe. This formula I will tell you, don't worry. If at all, if you want, but you may not get these ingredients in the crisis. I'm just telling you what preventive measures in India, every house, my grandmothers, both the grandmothers, my father's side, my mother's side, always they carried this in their. Of course, one grandmother carried herbal powder, one grandmother carried tobacco. She used to inhale. The one who inhaled tobacco, so died quickly. But the one who inhaled herbal powder, she died peacefully at the age of 97 years. Why only 97 years? Because there is no nutrition, compromised nutrition. I'm just trying to tell, because I saw every day morning and she ingested, she kept her lungs very clean. You look at, I'm keeping it now. So, now, little bit, a small little bit pinch enough. Little bit. Inhale. Tomorrow if coronavirus vaccination comes, do you know how that vaccination is going to work? You see now my inflammatory response. What our ancestors have given us. You have seen? Maybe my system is a little strong. Let me have a little bit more. What happens, you see, further, still it's not started, it's going to start. I'm demonstrating it to you because yoga is all experience. If I am sneezes come, so you are going to sneeze, Why sneezing? To throw away the germs. 100 miles. See. I'm going to wash it. That's why kerchief is carried in India. It is for this, a big kerchief. So coming, give in Asha, what you have to do? And then clean it, wash it. 100 miles per hour speed is required. 150 kilometers per hour speed is required to throw away the germs. You went outside and you have become a carrier of so many things. In the house, anyone can infect it. So before entering in the house, cleaning the hands, cleaning the feet, and snuff powder a little bit in this nostril, and you sneeze outside itself into a cotton cloth, not into environment, into like this, and then you come and wash that hanky. All the germs, your lungs are free from the germs, your upper throat is free from the germs. So 15 to 25 sneezes you will get. My system is very clean. That's why I'm not getting so much sneezing. Otherwise, with this kind of thing, if an ordinary person would get so much, headache, it relieves the headache, it relieves migraines, it relieves head congestion, your lungs feel immediately free, lighter. Then you realize how much junk is accumulated inside once it is unburdened. These are the technologies given to us thousands of years ago. It is not discovered recently, isn't it? So decontamination procedures of the lungs, decontamination procedure of the clothes, why? Because the coronavirus broods in the throat. First, what happens is throat congestion happens. Even you sense symptom of a throat slowly, you can easily feel because your body defensive system is so intelligent, and you start feeling a little bit, the sound changes, and there's a little bit congestion here, pain you will sense, means that's the first symptom. If you keep 4 or 5 cloves all the time in your mouth, you don't have to chew it. Over a period of time, naturally, slowly releases. Eugenol is an active biocompound. An active biocompound in cloves. How much? How much eugenol is there in 100 grams? 9,852. 16,500 or 600 milligrams for 100 grams. For 1 gram of cloves, if you take 9.8 to 15 milligrams of eugenol, you will get. Eugenol and so many like caffeine. Now what is called, caffeic acid. Like this, so many polyphenols and so many excellent things. That's why its antioxidant activity is very, very high. Cloves are the kings of the spices, aromatic organ. Even in your house, clove oil contains 85%, 90% of only eugenol, gallic acid, and then remaining compounds. That's why I have a habit of keeping always 4 or 5 good cloves, grade 1 cloves. So these are the excellent preventive mechanism. So it is a very excellent environment you can create for your throat. These are the larvae. It is excellent larvicidal. The first thing in a research paper you will read is, cloves are excellent larvicidal. Before it becomes a virus, at larva stage itself you can kill it. That's why before it becomes, and in the throat it is getting brooded, it is finishing its cycle, then it is going into the lungs as a fully developed. And just for 5 cloves, grade 1, Madagascar cloves are the best. Then Indian cloves, grade 1 cloves. Just 4 or 5 cloves. If the cloves are very low quality, anywhere you get outside, normally low quality. But if you get low quality, dump 25, 30, 40 cloves in your mouth to get that effect. Because the quantity of the eugenol is a matter. So if you have oil, clove bud oil, clove oil, just 1 drop of it in the mouth, you keep it. Just 1 drop of it. The drink, you drinking tea, just 1 drop clove oil. Similarly, oregano. This is the time where you use oil of oregano. Calvacrol, 90% to 95% of calvacrol. Excellent. And similarly, eucalyptus. Excellent. Little bit, 1 drop of eucalyptus oil. Ginger oil. and turmeric oil. Oils, lipids they are, powerful antioxidant. It breaks the lipid of the virus. It has that much of potent activity. I'm not joking. You can study today whatever I explained. Now you are at home, isn't it? Now go into the Google Scholar and search the research papers on the clove, research papers on the curcumin, research papers on the ginger, research papers on each of those things I am talking about today. Then you will be amazed to see, oh my God, what our yogis, what our ancestors give us. Every day in the curry preparation, I use all these spices. Powerful. I am converting ordinary cooking oil into powerful antioxidant oil. Such a technology nowhere in the world. How a curry is prepared? First you keep a oil. Which oil? Not saturated fatty acids. Hydrogenated fatty acids. No margarine. No mayonnaise. Understand? It has to be either safflower oil or flaxseed oil or extra virgin olive oil. Nothing happens. There is a point called not boiling point. This is called a smoking point. That's why the curry preparing vessel has to be very, very thick, like this. Very thick, so that oil doesn't get boiled. And oil doesn't get burnt. That is the most important is your curry preparing the vessel, your curry preparing bowl has to be very thick, and then you keep oil in that. Say 20 grams or 15 ml to 20 ml of oil. And that oil, as I said, if your vessel is made with the thin, it immediately boils. It damages the oil. So, first of all, low flame and keep it in a thick pot like this, and then put oil in that. And then pound all the spices manually. Now, don't use powders in the mill, and which high RPM, those spices, those aromatic, gallic acid damaged, eugenol is damaged, everything is damaged. You just have to use traditional, what do you call is a pounding stone or iron, simply pound it. Fresh, take the cloves and all, put it in small, so preparing churn, and just grind them like this and put them in the oil. What are all the things you put? And you put turmeric, you put garlic ginger paste. Garlic, why garlic? Garlic carries oxygen, and through the blood, enormous oxygen it can dump, like alpha lipoic acid. It contains alic acid. It contains sulfurous compounds which carry oxygen. That's why in India, garlic should not be used alone. Garlic ginger. Ginger is highly carbonative, highly anti-inflammatory. It will take the bad effect of the cloves, garlic cloves. And garlic will take care of the bad effect of the ginger. That's why garlic ginger paste, in every household, we are supposed to use now to protect your immunity, minimum 50 grams of the paste. In every curry, minimum 50 grams. Because once upon a time, this paste is used only for cooking non-vegetarian, to protect themselves from the defects of the defective proteins. But it is not because it is expensive or only rich people could do it. But I am telling you, it's not. Today everyone can afford garlic, everyone can afford ginger. So garlic ginger paste, must. And then in this oil you have to dump. Why oil? Because all these aromatic hydrocarbons, gallic acid you take, or when you take polyphenols you take, all these are benzene compounds. They have a closed structure. They're always like this. The structure is. So all oils, all the herbs, whatever you use in India, a havan every day, Agnihotra, fire ritual has to be done. What Rigveda has given, first levels of technologies are only two. One is sound, and with the sound you have to burn. You have to burn, And to purify the environment, one is by the sound, another one is by burning aromatic herbs, aromatic plants, a bark, a stem, a root, a leaf. All these things are burned to release powerful aromatic hydrocarbons into the air, which are lipid molecules, fine aerosols. And all these are lipid molecules. This virus, dreaded virus, like rhinovirus, like coronavirus. And these are lipid molecules. The lipid molecule will capture, they will throw them out. So you won't get affected. This is a way to purify your entire house. Every day, if there is no fire in the house, it means there is no life in that house. Someone died. You understand, in India, even as a child I have seen, in my house, a cow dung prepared briquette, all the time, and that briquette, on that cow dung briquette, and put it in some oils are put in that, or some herbal powder is put on that, and all the time it is lit. Now you go to masjid, you go to mosque, you go to church, you go to any temple, the camphor is burnt. Not only camphor, so many herbs are burnt. The powerful herbs, so that to maintain the environment,